Now, during that accident, I had a concussion. I didn't want to perform. I didn't want to do nothing. I was just like, bro, why just keep happening to me? My dogs, like, we had, at the time, it was a Most Wanted. We had came up with a group called Most Wanted. They're like, okay, we're gonna go take you to come to a show. Keep in mind, it looked like somebody done Mike Tyson me in my face. My whole eye, I promise you, it looked like somebody Mike Tyson me in my face. My whole eye is like over with. I got a full black eye. My face breaking out. But I'm like, I ain't gonna stay in bed and look crazy, so I ain't got my hair done. At least my hair done. At least something gives, right? So even I have a whole concussion, like a whole black eye. Threw some shades on, boom, want to go perform. As many times as I've been knocked down, like I'm not gonna stay down.
Something to drink.
That's fine.
And you're more than welcome to pour anything if you want.
Okay, thank you. I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
Yeah. Like you're not missing out on anything?
No, at all. Whatsoever. Trust me, I know. Been there and I ain't going back.
Wait, so you drank before?
Yeah, I did. Was
it a life-changing decision or a life-changing situation that made you want to not drink anymore?
Gave my life to God, and and then I didn't desire to do it anymore, so I stopped. But I thank God I stopped because, like, you know when you drink a lot, like you don't think you're drinking a lot. But you really are drinking a lot. And you tell yourself, like, nah, I ain't no alcoholic. I just drink whenever I want. Like, okay, but you got to order a drink every time you go. I was ordering a drink every time I went out. I'm like, okay. Like, now I can see it now and say, like, okay, yeah, I was probably alcoholic. Like, because I was drinking. It got to the point.
Uncontrollable or something?
It wasn't uncontrollable, but it just got to a point where I could only drink tequila. I couldn't drink anything else.
Oh,
because everything else, either I got hungover off it, I got sick off it. Tequila was the only thing. I would black out off tequila and be fine the next day.
Off tequila?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I could. I can't no more, but there was a time where I could.
No, you are really not missing out on anything.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if tequila's tequila. Oh, no.
It's nothing wrong. I mean, I can't say it's nothing wrong with it now because I don't really stand for it no more. But at the time, it wasn't nothing wrong with it to me. I would drink it straight, just.
You're not missing anything.
No, I know.
You're not
Trust
missing
me,
anything.
I know now. I be wanting to tell people, like, you know, when they be like, oh my gosh, I'm about to turn 21, I get to drink. Like, no. Just leave it. Trust me, you don't want it. It's not. It's going to make you make some real bad decisions.
How do you pronounce your name? Ariel?
Ariel is how you pronounce my full name, yeah. But I don't go by my full name. Riel.
Riel?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
I had to change. Okay, so I went through, like, a phase where I had to change my name, like, 3 times. Like, okay, so my first I was just gonna go by Irie the singer, right? Cause
that's nice.
Yeah, that's what I was going by at first. Like when you look at all my old stuff, it still say Irie the singer on it.
It does.
But I had to change it because the first part of my name, a girl had it, right? So then I changed it, and I was like, maybe it's just the way I spelled it. Let me just put like 2 each or something. And they were like, no, it's still got the name. And I'm like, okay. So every time I kept putting music out, they would keep taking it down.
Dang.
And I was like, bruh.
That's
so
frustrating.
Yes, it is. So then they emailed me and they were like, well, if you don't take it down, we can sue you. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it. Took it down, changed my name, and somebody I was friends with at the time. We were just sitting there brainstorming, and he was like, what about Riel? And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah.
Really?
He just kept saying it. He was like, Riel. And I was like, no. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. It grew on me. He just kept saying it, and I'm like, no, I like it. I think I do like it. So, yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get this started.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? Vicash here, Dark Sparks Energy here for the story, not the fame. Sitting with another guest today, Riel. Go ahead, say hi to the people. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? It's your girl Riel, your favorite R&B singer. Yeah.
You're an artist.
Yes.
What type of artist? Musical, artistic? Because you just told me that you know how to draw as well.
I'll be like,
you might be a jack of all trades.
No. I just be, when you just be doodling. Like I just be doodling. It's nothing like
you really
crazy.
Have you ever drawn your own cover art?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't draw like that. No. My sister could do that, but me, like no. Like I just be bored after drawing. Like you know how you draw like them little flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just like a musical artist. Yeah.
What made you want to get started?
I've been singing since I was like younger. Like I've been singing, I've been performing since elementary school, really.
Really?
Yeah, and it's funny because I never wanted to be like, I was never like, oh, I want to be a singer. Like, No, I wanted to be a criminal justice lawyer. Like, I was trying to put them cops in jail for killing black people. No, for real. That's what I really want to do. Because when you see it, it's like, oh my gosh, like
it's frustrating.
It's frustrating, and it's like, okay, if I keep getting frustrated about this, I got to do something to change it. So I wanted to be part of it, and then I realized like the system is the system. Like they designed it to be like that. So even if I was to be a lawyer, like it's just more stress, you know.
But you didn't just like want to give up on that.
I didn't want to just give up. I still went to school. I went to school to be a lawyer, and then I went to school in New York to be a lawyer, and I was doing the classes and stuff, and then COVID came, and I came back, and then music just took off, and music really just took off, and I've just been doing it since. Yeah. So
since you were younger, though.
I've been singing since I was younger.
Was there any particular person, like family members or friends or peers, that pushed you into that career path, or you just really always loved?
I just always loved singing. And it's so funny because my sister, my older sister, she would walk around the house singing sometimes. And she'd be singing, but she don't be singing. Like, she sings. Like, I know she can sing, but she don't sing, if that makes sense.
What do you mean? Like, she's not
like she can sing. Like, she could sing. She just don't be singing. If that makes sense.
Nope, still sound like the same word.
Okay, it's like one thing for somebody to be like, oh yeah, she got a voice, but she doesn't sing. Does that make better sense?
Oh, she's able to hold a note.
She could sing. Like you could put on a song and she could sing something, but she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't sing. So she don't sing.
I see what you
mean.
Yeah,
she could sing, but she don't sing. So I would just hear her sometimes, and I like try to imitate how she sing, and then like I didn't know it sounded good. I didn't know it sounded good. I had no idea I could even sing. And then elementary school came, and I want to say like around second grade, because we would move around a lot. So we had moved to Texas at one point. Like I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. We moved to Texas, and then came back, and I had went to school at Silver Shores. That's like Miramar. I went to Silver Shores Elementary, and they had this rock band. It's like, I promise you, God is so good, because the way he like, it's like he almost prepared me for this. Like, not almost, but like he did prepare me for where I'm going, right? So I'm there, and we weren't allowed to be part of the rock band until you was like in 4th grade. Which was whack, but whatever. I just thought it was whack. So 2nd grade, like I'm waiting for my shot. 4th grade coming, I'm gonna go audition, whatever, right? So at this point, like I was like, okay, like I kind of knew I could sing or whatever. And my math teacher at the time, Miss Lane, she was like, use that gift or you gonna lose it. I will never forget what she said.
You definitely didn't forget her name.
I would never, no, I couldn't. She wears a scarf on her neck. I love her. To this day, I love her. And she said to me, use that gift or you gonna lose it. And I will never forget that. And so 4th grade come, and I go up and I go sing The Climb. Now, this wasn't just like, you know how you got schools and they have choirs and the choirs were born. No, this was a rock band. He was an artist. Like, our teacher was an artist. He played guitar. He'd have concerts. He had a whole band, like, aside from him just
coming to school.
Yeah. So he would, like, bring us to these venues and have us perform. And then we started singing, like, Bon Jovi and stuff like that. And then love me some Bon Jovi. Very versatile music. Bon Jovi and some song from Shrek and Katy Perry. And then when we would go to like the performances, then he would have solos for every person. And it's not like a solo the whole song, but you got a solo for a certain part. I think the only song that had a whole solo was Don't Stop Believing. And there used to be this girl named Kira, and she used to have that solo for a while. And I was like, I want that solo. 5th grade come. Got that solo.
A little complicated.
I got that solo. Oh yeah, I could be.
Was there like a certain process for like auditioning or anything like that?
No, but you could just tell like that was her song. Like she sang that song. And so when she, went to middle school, I was like, oh no, this is my song. So I got there and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this. I was, and I think it prepared me for performing in front of crowds, because I was never scared to perform in front of a crowd. I was never like, oh my gosh, like, like it just, being on stage feels natural to me. So when I was there, and it's like we would perform in front of a whole bunch of people, and this is elementary school now. Like they had us on the news, like rock band, Silver Shores, Silver Eagles rock band on the news, like real life, and it was so live. And so like we was really doing something at that time. And then middle school come, and it's different. Now it's choir. And I was like, okay, like it wasn't like elementary school. It wasn't exciting. So I would just sit there sometimes. Like at first, like I was into it, right? But when you start making certain kind of friends and they start to like lean you from it, it's kind of like, okay, like, oh, they seem cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go rock with them. You rock with them, now you're not really interested in this no more. Because they make it seem like it's lame, so we gotta be lame, right? And so it was like that. I was still singing, but I wasn't learning what I feel like I should have been learning back then, as far as like music and notes and this and that. Like if I had paid attention and stayed grounded, then I would have known more. So then high school comes. I was in choir like my first year, and then I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Not that I didn't want to sing no more, but I didn't want to be in the choir no more, because I was like, this is boring. This is not me. I'm not feeling it. High school comes, I was just like doing what I had wanted to do at the time. And I started writing. I was writing songs, like I want to say I was writing songs around middle school. But the way I wrote back then compared to how I write now is different. Like the way I wrote back then, like a certain song would just hit my head and I would write it. No beat, no nothing. Right? I used to write a whole bunch of songs, lost all of them. God, I wish I knew where they was at to this day. But the first song I wrote, I still remember. It's so funny. And then it
wasn't stored digitally or anything?
No, it was paper. I write on pen and pad. Everything? Yeah, everything. So I had everything on paper. I lost it when we were moving. We used to move around a lot, so I lost it. Don't know where it's at to this day, but you know, it is what it is. You lose some, you gain some. And middle school, I was writing. Then high school came, and I started doing covers. And at the time, Twitter was jumping, so I would post something, and they like go somewhere.
Fly with it.
You feel me? Then they had that 10 Toes Down challenge, right? And I was like, oh, I could rap to this. So I did. I wrote a rap, and I mixed it with a little bit of singing and posted it. That went somewhere too. I deleted it after because I'm like, rapping, like I could write a rap. I don't got the voice to rap. I don't think it's for me, so I just don't do it, right? So then it started like that. It started small, and never despise small beginnings, right? Because it's no small thing. So it starts small, then it starts to progress, starts to progress. So I started writing, then I started doing covers, then I started doing remixes. And I took off with the remixes. Now I'm doing remixes every week. I'm dropping a remix like every other day. I did a remix to the first remix I did was Medicine by Queen Naja.
Stop it.
Yes, I did a remix to that. Posted down. That was just posted on Twitter. All my remix, like if I go on my Twitter right now, all my stuff is still on Twitter. All my remixes is still on Twitter, except for the 10 Toes Down challenge. That one had to get taken down. I had to take that one down. But then it transferred to Instagram. Then I started posting every other week. Remixes. Then started writing my own originals. So that Down For Me song was from my first tape. I used to go on Bubba Got Beats. He's the same man who made the 10 Toes Down challenge beat, right? I used to be on his page all the time. Most of my songs when I first started writing was off his beats. So I would just go there and I just listen to it. And I don't even know like how that even began. I just know I just started doing it. Right, and I just started writing. And my first project, I wrote it. I had gotten into a car accident, and I was on bed rest because I had broke my back. So yeah, it was crazy.
What?
And yeah, but to God be the glory because I'm still here today. So I'm there, and you know, I got in my zone. I was just writing. I wrote a whole lot. Back? With a broken back. I was on bed rest. So you know, like what else can I do?
Spinal cord? Which part? Lumbar?
Spinal cord. I fractured two bones. Like
your lumbar or thoracic? Sorry, I'm a nurse.
So I don't know. It's okay. I think it was my T11 and my T12.
Oh God.
Something like that. Yeah, my T11 and my T12 got fractured. So I had to get surgery, and it was like a whole like whatever thing, right? So then I'm on bed rest, and you know, I'm like, what am I gonna do while I'm here? I'm gonna write some music. Like yeah. So like it was never far from me. I have books and books and books. Like I probably got like 12, 13 books.
Always have the access.
Yeah, I always have books. So like half the books are filled with poetry, other books are filled with prayer, other books are filled with songwriting. But they tend to be always combined in like one. Like my prayers and my songs are always in at least one book. Like it's just always there. I don't know why. I have to leave a couple pages for prayer because I know I'm gonna end up writing prayers in this book. So then that's how it happened, and it went from there. Then. The first song I recorded was Down For Me. And a friend of mine actually took me. I don't even remember how I met him, which is crazy. He was like, yo, I'll pay for your studio session.
Oh, gas.
And I was like, all right, we there. Like, you don't got to tell me twice. So this is right after I came from New York because I didn't record anything before. I just had everything written. So when I was in New York, like I was still writing. I'm still posting my remixes and stuff. The second I came back from New York, it was straight to the studio. Straight to the studio. started recording. I recorded Down For Me. I recorded Toxic. Those are the first 2 songs I recorded. And then I dropped a project. Cool project got out. I'm like, okay, that project was out for a little bit. Then I started performing. And I started performing because a girl reached out to me. Her name is Nojoetz. She had this trap club. Yeah, she had Trap Club family, right? So she reached out to me, and shout out Trap Club for life. And she reached out to me, and she was like, yo, I want to interview you for Trap Club, whatever. So I started, and then that's how I really got connected to a lot of people in Miami. Mm-hmm. So I had never performed my own original songs before until she was like, okay, I got the showcase, come perform. And I was like, my own original song. Mm-hmm. She was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you feel me? I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, I've never performed my own original songs. I don't know how people gonna rock with me. Got there, started performing. Everybody rock with me. Then it was shows every week, every day. I'm talking about. I stay in Fort Lauderdale. I'm driving down to Miami every day. Mm-hmm. Every day. I'm in Miami. I'm at the studio. Me and her became partners. Like now we planning stuff. We doing events together and everything. Like we trying to figure out how we can make this bigger. So more people start coming in, start meeting more people, start networking with more people, and it blew up from there. Then that's how I really got my name out there because all the showcases we used to have, just go out there, perform, and it just became like an everyday lifestyle to me. Like it really I was never home. Like I come home like 4 a.m. I'm at the studio. I come home 6 a.m. I'm at the studio. All night in the studio, like
what is sleep?
There was no such thing. There was literally no such thing as sleep. Like It was no such thing as sleep, and it was like I lived in Miami at one point. I'm talking about me and my sister had even got a place down there just so I wouldn't have to drive up and down. Got the place down there, got into another accident. Had to stay back up top. Now during that accident, I had a concussion and I didn't want to perform. I didn't want to do nothing. I was like, bro, I was just like, bro, why does this keep happening to me? And then my dogs, we had, at the time it was a Most Wanted. We had came up with a group called Most Wanted, right? And at the time they was like, oh, now we finna come get you at the house. Keep in mind, it looked like somebody done Mike Tyson me in my face. My whole eye, I promise you, it looked like somebody Mike Tyson me in my face. My whole eye is like,
bro,
over with. I got a full black eye, my face breaking out. But I'm like, I ain't gonna stay in bed and look crazy, so I went and got my hair done. At least my hair done. At least something gives, right? They're like, okay, we're gonna go take you to come to a show. So even I have a whole concussion, like a whole black eye, threw some shades on, boom, went to go perform.
At this point, it just seems like that's just who you are. There's nothing that's hindering you.
It's nothing. No. It really not as many times as I've been knocked down. Like I'm not gonna stay down. Like I'm not gonna know why. Why would I stay where? It's like the enemy feels like he has a hold over you. Like, why are you going to stay where it feels like he wants you to be there? Like, he wants you to feel like defeated. I'm not. Scripture say victory my portion. Like, I'm not even gonna play. Like, no, I'll tell the devil straight up, you're a liar. Like, you don't got no hold, you don't got no power. Like, I'm gonna keep pressing. Mm-hmm. And so, at that time, I was still despite everything that was going on, I was still oh, I'm still finna go. I'm still going to my shows. Yeah, I might look a little crazy, but I sound good. I might look a little crazy, but y'all gonna rock to this. Yeah, and it's really bro, nothing has stopped me. I've just been, and I never thought it'd be where it's at now. Mm-hmm. I never thought this would be my life. Nah, I thought I'd be walking into, and I used to find a way to try to incorporate music into courtrooms, and I'd be like, how about I do this? I go into the courtroom, because I wanted to be a judge at first. Mm-hmm. I realized you had to be a lawyer before you became a judge. So I'm like, man, I'll just be a lawyer. But I'm like, how am I going to incorporate music? I can't let music go. So I'm like, oh, but what if I do a singing court? I walk in, everybody sing, and then it was my dream for a second. And I had to let that go, because I'm like, it's not going to work. It's just not going,
I want to touch back to what you said earlier when you was navigating through what elementary going into middle school, and not too many people were steering towards what you were doing. They weren't really caring too much about the chorus, and they're trying to steer you away from that. During these days, how do you navigate between people who are having your best interests or not having your best interests? How do you decipher between those type of people?
It's asking God to give me discernment. And it's a lot easier said than done, but acknowledging God in everything, because you can meet a lot of people, but not everybody's sent from God. Not everybody's sent to help you. And so like it's funny that you asked me that, because I was just having this conversation before I got here. Like it's a lot of people who will deceive you. They'll come like as an angel of light, right? But that's what Satan was, angel of light. And he was deceiving, right? He was also the master of music, right? A master of worship or something like that, right? And y'all read y'all Bible, y'all go search it up. And so literally, like, they will try to deceive you. There's gonna be a lot of people who want to take and not bring. And it'll come in disguise itself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the angel, like, he'll come in disguise itself. They'll come and like be like, oh, you think they cool? You think they this? You think they that? And really, like, they got other motives. But you also have to remember that we battle not against flesh and blood. We battle against the darker forces. So whatever spirit is operating behind them, their whole assignment is to pull you out of where God is trying to take you. So if let's say I'm walking this walk, right? God's telling me to walk to the mountain, I'm walking to the mountain. That don't mean that it's not going to be people that's going to try to come distract me. I don't mean it's not going to be like, I'll use like animals for example, right? You probably have a dog that's let's say like God will send you a dog. This dog is going to help you or give you some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Give you some kind of insight as to what's going on around you, or try to stir you or steer you from any harm. Okay, then you have another dog that's going to almost look like this dog that just came, right? And you're like, oh yeah, well, you immediately trust the dog. Because you're like, oh, well, this dog was cool, so this dog should be cool too. But then that's when you ask God, okay, what is the reason behind this person being in my life? What's their motive? Reveal to me like what their true motives are. Reveal to me what the assignment is. If this person's not sent from you, remove them. However you do it, wash your hands. Expose them and then remove them. Because I need to know, okay, this person, that way they just don't disappear. And you're not questioning like, dang, God, what happened? Like, no, expose to me who this person is in my life and now remove them. Because if this person is going to hinder me, they don't need to be around. And when you build bonds with people who weren't technically meant to be in your life, then it's harder for you to let go of that person.
It's draining, isn't it?
It is. It could be draining, yeah. But I feel like when you start to grow a lot of love, when you start to grow a lot of love for somebody, like let's take relationships for example, right? You get into a relationship, right? And this person is not called to be your wife, or this person is not called to be your husband. The only thing they can cause in your life is chaos, pain, hurt, and God will allow it because he gives us free will. You made that choice, okay? That was your decision. If you had acknowledged me before, God, is this my husband? God, is this my wife? And I told you no, and you still chose to do it, then you chose to deal with the consequences. It's another thing if you don't acknowledge him. Now you don't have any insight. So you walk in there blindly, right? You walk in there blindly, not knowing where this person can lead you. But the scripture says a blind person leads another blind person into destruction. Y'all, neither of y'all can see, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That leaves access for all kinds of attacks of the enemy to come in. The enemy can use him. The enemy can use you. You don't know how it could work. So you in a relationship, and you know how like they be talking about like, oh yeah, toxic relationships are the best. Da, 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 da. They're really not, because you don't realize that you're in a relationship that's not ordained. It's not God's will for your life. Where is this leading you? If it's not God's will for you, then whose will is it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put that same energy in and out day after day.
Whose will is it? So you're doing this and you're fighting, because there's always going to be a part of you that knows like, man, I don't think this hit for me, right? But then there's the heart that's deceiving. Scripture says not even we can understand how deceiving and wicked our heart is. It's deceiving. So when you're in your feelings, when not even that, but when you're tied to somebody in all ways, let's say you're emotionally tied to them, you're sexually tied to them, all of that takes a toll on you. That's why scripture says, you don't have sex until marriage, because that is a sin against your own body. You don't know how that affects you yourself. The person could have laid with this person, that person, that person. You don't know what spirits was operating behind the people that they was laying with. And now you go lay with that person and you walk away, and you was fine before. Now you walk away, you got anger issues, you jealous, you this, you that, but you never had the problems before that person. You got the problems now. Why? What transferred? It's an energy transfer. So you in that relationship with that person and y'all are around each other all the time. God is nowhere in the midst of it. He's not being glorified in the relationship, which means that it's clearly an attack from the enemy.
A lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people do not think that way.
Yeah, they because they don't see it though. Yeah. They don't see it. So when you're in that relationship and you're realizing, okay, like it took me having to say, like, God, where are you glorified in this? he's not glorified. He can't be glorified if we're living in sin. He can't be glorified in a relationship. So that right there lets me know I'm doing something wrong. Or we're both leading each other to destruction. Or if we both don't hurry up and get saved, we going straight. Now, I don't got to say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We going straight there. We going straight to hell. Like, you got to be serious because it's reality of it. But what society does is deceives us. So they put this music out, or they put these out, or they put like all this different stuff, worldly principles that people follow that aren't the principles of God. So it can be so easy for us, especially at the ages that we are now and the generations coming up behind us, for us to be led astray from what the word says. Now when people get the word, they like, oh, but that don't make no sense because people doing this. They're not following the word. That's why they're doing that. So when it comes to how do I know, like, if somebody's trying to lead me somewhere else, God says test the fruit, test the spirit. You know what God's fruits are: patience, kindness, faithfulness, all these things, God's fruits, right? I can't name them all off the top of my head, but some of them, right? Yeah. So all these things, are God's fruit. If somebody comes into your life and they're angry all the time, and they cussing people out all the time, and all they want to do is go to the club, drink, smoke, and do all this stuff, you're not sent from God. No, you sent to bring me back somewhere else God already pulled me out of. So it's easy for me to do that. And then you got people like, once you come out of those places in your life, then you have familiar spirits who want to bring you back. Oh, girl, one drink not going to kill you. Oh, girl, just come to the club. Oh, girl, it's just one hit. It's just this. It's just, and it's not just that, because once you get into, they don't see it yet. Remember that we battle not against flesh and blood. So it's not them. It's whatever spirit's operating behind them. So they can't see it because their eyes aren't open to what God's trying to reveal to them. So it takes a circumstance, because there was a time my eyes weren't open to it. A part of me knew, but it's like I didn't want to, and God had to allow me to go through something to be like, for it to shift me and be like, oh, no, I'm going to church immediately. Oh, no, I'm wipe my hands. It's not it for me. I'm not even going to play with it no more. So it's like really asking God for that discernment, like, God, who is this person? Why are they in my life? What can they do for me? What can I do for them? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about you all the time. How can I help this person? How can I serve this person? How can they serve me? If they're not leading me to God, then they're leading me from him. And that's all I need to know. If you're leading me from God, it's like, I really don't need to be around. No, I don't want to go to the club. No, I don't want to go shake my behind on no counter. I don't want to drink until I pass out. Why? Because how is this better? How is this edifying and building? It's tearing down.
You pour into people?
Do I pour into people?
Like knowledge, wisdom, emotions, love, care.
Yeah.
Like you pour into people?
Yeah.
Like, do you find yourself pouring too much?
Yes.
When is it a point where you want to draw back from pouring too much? Or is there even such a thing as pouring too much?
Sometimes I don't know how to draw back from pouring into people.
Oh.
So it was a point where I was in a relationship, and my best friend had asked me, like, do I feel like this relationship is glorifying God? And I knew the answer was no. I knew it was no.
That's a conscious question to ask.
Yeah.
As a friend.
I knew it was no. I was like, no. I didn't want to say it. Like, I was really just like, I don't really feel like answering this right now. Because I knew the answer was, and I knew once I answered that, then I'd have to face that this is not God's will for me. And I knew I'd have to let that go. But I didn't want to deal with the hurt behind that. And so God had to allow circumstances to come for me to actually have no choice but to let go. And he knew it wasn't going to be a willing choice for me. So when you asked, how do I know when I'm pouring too much? Yeah. When I feel like nothing's being poured back into me. And in the relationship, emotionally, I felt like I wasn't getting poured into enough. She asked me that same question, do I feel like he's pouring into me? I said no, but sometimes, you know how people say love can make you blind? The people say that, right? Mm-hmm. But God's love doesn't make you blind. So it can't be love if it's making you blind.
You have to question it.
It can't be love. Mm-hmm. Whatever was, what was this driven off of, right? And people are like, love make you crazy. Lust makes you crazy. Love don't make you crazy, right? My apostle, R. Caleb Jean, said that. Yeah, I'm going to give credits to my apostle. He said that love doesn't make you crazy. Lust makes you crazy. You know why people be slicing tires and doing all this? It's because they know that you give your body to somebody else. If you never slept with this person, why are you going crazy like that? You know what I'm saying? That's why it says You don't know the kind of toll it could take on you when you lay with somebody. Because you don't know who they lay with, and you don't know who they lay with, and it goes on, and it goes on. Yeah. And all that transfers, you walk around carrying all these spirits.
It's definitely a lot. It's definitely a bit too much. And I'm not sure how people navigate through that.
That's what I'm saying. But some people, they carry that spirit of lust, right? And that's what drives them. It drives them to do all that stuff. Just like anger can drive you to kill somebody. Because anger could drive you to kill somebody. That's a spirit, though. So all these it says the enemy comes in one way, right? He goes out 7. Why does he go out 7 ways? Because when he comes in one way, he brings 7 different spirits with him. So and it'll happen the smallest thing. It could be like, okay, you in a club with your boyfriend or something, right? Listen to what I'm saying. You in a club with your boyfriend. That already the environment already lets you know, like. You already give access to the enemy to play with you. So you sitting there, you see him on a girl, jealousy comes in. Okay, now it's not just jealousy, it's anger, it's insecurity. All these things are spirits that come in behind that one. You know what I'm saying? Where are they going to take you? Where is it leading you? And so having to acknowledge that, like, it's like, before I knew about all this, I wasn't thinking nothing of it, right? I was just like, man, I'm just a little upset. I'm just a little angry. It's never just a little angry, just a little upset, because I was gonna say, like, it starts small. It starts small, okay, and then it progresses. Just like I tell you, like, you could go lay with somebody and you could be like, oh man, like, I'm good today, and then the next day you feel a little down. And you're like, man, it's not nothing, man. It's just one of them days. And it starts small. Next thing you know, you're battling depression. Why? Because this person could have been battling depression, or the person that they lay with before you could have been battling depression, and they transferred that same spirit to you because they were carrying it and didn't know. And if you don't know, now you carrying not just that, you probably carrying a whole bunch of other stuff. And that takes a toll on you. Now you got mind battles for what? So when people be like, man, I used to say I was an overthinker. Because I used to overthink a lot. I don't find myself overthinking anymore like that. I don't find myself saying, "Oh, I'm an overthinker." Or, I was just overthinking it. I find myself being a little overly cautious. But what am I overthinking about? Where are these thoughts coming from? You know what I'm saying?
But are you not voicing that opinion when the situation presents itself, or that suppressing? Is that what it is?
I want to say I used to have. Because I don't want to say I still do, because I don't want to speak that I still have this problem. I want to say God has delivered me out of this problem.
Into existence.
When I would see certain things, instead of speaking up about it, I'd hold it. And then because I'd hold it, I'd always think about what the other person is like, okay, well, how are they going to feel if I do this? How are they going to? And it's like, how do you feel? How do you feel? You carrying this? You like, okay, like, let's say, like, you see him, like, he get on the phone with a girl and he get off the phone and you in your head like, man, who is he talking to? And it's like, girl, ask him, why are you holding that? Because now you're coming up with all these different scenarios, driving yourself nuts, cuckoo, crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you could have just addressed it. And when I was in the relationship, that was something that I was dealing with. I didn't know how to just open my mouth and address it, because the only thing I could think about was, oh, how is he going to feel if I come out like this? Or like, how is he going to react? Or what if this, or what if that? And it was just like literally me versus me, like me holding myself back from doing something and compromising. I was compromising my feelings for the sake of his. And it's so funny because I was talking about this today. Now, like, that I'm in my walk, like how I'm walking with God right now, right? I find myself sometimes compromising to make other people feel comfortable. And it's like, you can't do that. Because 1 Timothy 4 says, stay, God, come on now, Lord, don't let this, like, disappear from my mind. It says something like, stay true to what is right. Amen. Thank you, God. Stay true to what is right for the sake of your salvation and the salvation of others. So if I'm encouraging somebody to sin, that don't just mess up my salvation, that mess up theirs too. Because I'm supposed to be leading you out of it. Not telling you, oh yeah, it's okay, you could go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have came here and I could have been like, oh yeah, don't drink. You know what I'm saying? But the compromise to make you feel comfortable. Because then I'm thinking, oh, what if and there it goes again. You know what I'm saying? And just so easy it happens like that. So God, please deliver me. Even as I'm going through this, I'm realizing, stop compromising. Because if I'm walking this walk and I have to be a holy example, how can I be a holy example and I'm allowing people to do things around me that I know God wouldn't want, or God don't tolerate that? You know what I'm saying? So
big facts, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, navigating through the industry, you did talk about how you can navigate in deciphering what to be around, not to be around. Seems nice. It is definitely a way that you want to tell people and engage that with other people and put that message out there. It's definitely something that is promotional and definitely influential. I definitely got to agree with that, and I agree with a lot of things that you're saying because it's all positivity. Love that. I do want to ask the question with your day-to-day motives, activities, like what pushes you every single day?
God waking me up in the morning.
Yeah.
Because if God wake me up in the morning, it's a day I've never seen before. I've never came across this day before. I've never lived in this day before until today when he woke me up this morning. So God, what are you calling me to do today? Because yesterday's gone. I can't go back, fall asleep, and wake up in yesterday. No, it's gone. So if he's waking me up, if he's still waking me up every morning, he still has a plan and a purpose for my life. And why am I going to lay in bed all day and waste it? And I'm not saying it happens overnight, because sometimes I'll be like, God, I just want to sleep. I just want to rest today. I just want to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But don't waste the days that God's giving you, because it's a day that you can't get back. It's not only a day that you can't get back, but it's a day that you've never came across before. We start to feel like, oh, every day is the same. Well, what are you doing every single day? What are you making about every day that's different than the day before? How are you, because if you spend every single day turned up in the club with your twin be vibing, you know what I'm saying? It's going to start to feel like every day is the same day, but God didn't call you to do all that. He didn't.
Start overlapping itself after a while.
It's going to start, and then that's how you get depressed. Because it's like, it starts to feel like you're stuck in a cycle because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's break that cycle. You got to break that cycle. You got to want to be like, God, I'm not doing this no more. For real, it's getting real ghetto. It's getting boring. Like, I can't be waking up every single day, laying in bed on TikTok, scrolling. I can't do this every day. Something got to give. Something got to be different. So what is it that I'm not doing that you're calling me to do? Or what is it that you called me to do that I still haven't moved on? And maybe that's why I feel complacent, because you told me to do something I didn't do it yet. So everything's on hold because I wasn't obedient. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So.
Industry-wise, what's one thing you love, one thing you hate about the industry?
That's a good question. What's one thing I love about the industry?
Industry could be cool. You meet a lot of different people.
I mean, I guess
you get a lot of opportunity.
You get a lot. Yeah, I'm about to say you could, but when I hear industry, all I think about is
cutthroat.
How wicked it is. Yeah. And not to put it like that, but
it is.
It's wicked. You got a lot of, like I said, we battle not against flesh and blood. You have a lot of dark forces, dark evil moving in the industry. And if you're not aware to it, if you're not aware of it, you can just so easily get pulled. And once you get pulled, it's like,
and lose
you know how hard it is to get back? And then when you get back, then you got people calling you crazy. And they blackball you, they do this, they do that, because you don't want to fall to their systems.
You don't want to conform.
Yeah. And God says, be not conformed, come from among them. Come from out of the, I called you to be separated from the world, not to blend in with them.
But being an artist, you have that ability to have your own free will. Like, that's the whole point of being an artist.
Yeah, but then you go in the industry.
How do artists fall into that?
You say how?
Yeah, regardless.
Temptations.
But they're artists.
But there are also temptations. You could be an artist and you can walk into a party, you could go to a mansion party, you be like, hey, this is dope. You still an artist, let's say, like, you still, like, you feel me? But that's just so easily, and how easy the enemy can be so very slick in pulling you somewhere. He can use one person, and all it takes is one, like I said, it takes that one thing. And it can be very small, but just how easily you get pulled in, it's not that easy to get out. It's not that easy to get out. You get in and you like, oh, like, let's say you get in, you like, man, like, you know, I'm walking with God, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And let's say you get in and God forbid, right? Let's say you get into the industry and everybody trying to make you feel like, man, you lame. Or you realize, oh, they're not really rocking with you because you going so hard for God. You going to start to feel discouraged.
Really?
Yeah. You can start to feel discouraged. It can happen because that's what the enemy will use. He'll use discouragement to pull you down. You realize when people be having their down days and stuff like that, what thoughts come into their mind to get them like that? It's discouraging. You can't be thinking positive feeling down. So whatever you're going through, it's discouraging you. It's making you feel like something that God has said that you're not. But if somebody's like, man, you lame, bro. You in church all day, man. You don't have no life. That could be discouraging to somebody.
Wild.
It could be discouraging to somebody. And they'd rather you be in the club. They'd rather you be doing this. They'd rather you be doing that. Rather than getting right with God. None of this stuff is going to matter when we leave. It's not. The flexing and all this money. And somebody can, God forbid, knock you down right now. You be laying on the floor with that same money you was just flexing. And take it. Now what you got? You don't even got your life. You don't even got your life. And you probably don't even got your soul. So what are you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to give an account to everything that we do when that time comes. When that time comes, we have to. So where are you leading people that are following you? Are you leading them into destruction? Or are you leading them to life? Because walk with God is eternal life. So this, like, none of this stuff is gonna matter. All this is nice. Don't get me wrong. I like this. I like this little setup. You feel me? I'm just using this as an example, right? Yeah. I'm just as an example, man. All this stuff is nice. You walk in, you like, yeah, man, y'all got the girls, y'all got the money, y'all got this. Yeah, man, I'm turned. Like, this is a good life for me. And you're not realizing all these are temptations. Jesus was tempted in the wilderness for 40 days, right? And the devil will say to you, I'll give you everything you can see. He can show you the whole world. He told him, man, you can have everything. You can have everything. I'll give you everything. But when it comes that time, you're going to have to pay up. Right? So when people be like, that's why, like, okay, for example, right? Because I realized I steered a little bit away from the question about the industry, right? You see people who go to, like, the award shows and stuff, and they be like, man, I just want to thank God. What God are they thanking? And no, it gets that deep. It gets that deep. What God are they? What God are they praising to? Because your lifestyle don't match, right? Listen. And you're living crazy, and you moving sneaky behind the scenes, right? But you go up on stage and you saying, "Man, I love God. Thank you, Jesus." They don't say thank you, Jesus. You'll never hear them say thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. But what God are you praising? Because devil says, "Worship me, and I'll give you everything." You can see. God gives you beyond that. He gives you exceedingly and abundantly. You can say, God, man, I just want this one house, and he'll give you 3. Right? And the devil will show you 5 houses. Man, I'll give you 5 houses, and he'll give you 5 houses. He'll give you the money. He'll give you the girls. He'll give you everything. Everything your heart, which is deceitful, desires.
That's easy.
Right? Though. It's easy. And that's how easy they fall for it. So you can walk in and be like, man, I'm going on with a straight head. I know what's going on. I'm finna do this and finna do that. And they'll be like, man, all we need you to do is do this. And you got everything. You got the streams, you got the money, you got the girls. And they do that. And just like that, your soul gone. And now they have control over you. Because now when it comes to time and you want to back out or you want to expose them, now they got something dangling over your head. And if you care more about what you look like than being saved, oh, I needed that. Oh, God, I felt that conviction, Lord. I repent. For real, if you care more about what you look like than being saved, Jesus.
Isn't it the same thing that the one king, you're biblical, so you probably know who I'm talking about. The Lord made him work for whoever the king was at the time. Made him build a whole castle, made him build a whole land, grabbed the cattle, to let him know that he was doing this all for the current king. At the end of it, God granted that for him to be person. I want to say King David. But I could be wrong.
I don't know all my stories like that, so I don't want to agree or disagree.
But it's a familiar story that I've learned.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's how God works.
It is.
That's how God works. People think like, man, I don't got to do all that. Man, I don't got to. Yes, you do.
What comes easy is definitely not worth it at the end.
It's the reward when you walk with Christ is worth it.
The journey is always best.
The journey, and it's rough. People think that you go to God and it's just all lollipops and candy cakes and everything's going to be good. No, be grateful that you're saved. Be grateful that he got his hand on you, and be grateful that you're covered by the blood. Because the warfare you probably going to go through, the journey, the suffering. God said, I was persecuted. You think you're not going to be persecuted? Man, them people pinned him on the cross. and he was saving people. The same people who was in his community was talking bad about him. They ain't believe in him. They was like, man, they was calling him a demon or this or all. They was calling him all kind of stuff, but count it all as blessed, right? Because people are gonna accuse you, especially when you're in the walk of faith. They're gonna do anything, and it's not people. It's what spirits are operating behind them to discourage you. Oh, they're gonna accuse you. They're gonna lie on you. They're gonna try to make you look like this. They're gonna say this and they're gonna say that, and you're gonna be like, dang, God, like I say yes to your will, and I gotta go through this. And he's like, well, they lied on me. They're gonna lie on you too. Count it all blessed. Easily. When you see them doing this, praise me. Because something good's coming from this. So yeah, people will be like, man, I did this and I did that. And yeah, man, that girl did this and she did. And I'm like, okay. What am I going to get angry for? No, I'm good. I know God got me, bro. So I'm good, you know? But it's not easy not to get discouraged. It's not easy not to get discouraged because you'll have moments where you feel like, God, bro, like, it start to feel like everything's weighing on you. But remember that defeat is not your portion. Defeat is not your portion. And I know when I get there, when I get to the gates of heaven, and God showed me everything I did. Anyways, you know, old things pass away, all things may new, right? But I know when I get there, I want to hear him say, well done, and not I never knew you. And that matters. Because imagine coming before the man of God, coming before God himself, and him telling you, I never knew you, even though he created you. But he's telling you, you're not the person I called you to be because you are conformed to the world. The world that I told you to be, ye set apart from. You know what I'm saying? And so people could tell you, man, this fun. Oh, yeah, it is. Living in sin is fun. But going to hell is not. For real. No, it's serious. Living in sin, people will be like, man, ain't nobody ever going to tell you that it's not fun. It is fun. Having sex feel good. Getting drunk in the club feel turned. You know what I'm saying? All these stuff are gonna feel like, oh yeah, I feel good. I'm having a good time. Okay, where are you going? And it gets that, like, people don't want to hear that all the time. But why am I gonna compromise to make people feel better about themselves? No, God will save you to save other people. So why am I gonna sit here and worry about what I look like or what people gonna think about me? I'm saved. I gotta. God used me to snatch other people out the fire. And when you're living this, like, you really got to be consecrated. You really got to be set apart. And it's a process. It's a process. It don't happen overnight. You don't just wake up and you fully holy and you change the way you dress and you everything. Like, no, you don't. Because when I first started, I was like, so I got to change the way I dress. I don't feel like doing that. Okay, then he'll convict you of it. Now, once you get that conviction, it's like, oh, no, let me change. But he'll convict you of the things that he wants you to stop doing at a pace. You know what I'm saying? At a pace. Like, you're not going to be doing these things forever. When you first come to God, don't want you coming. I'm not saying he don't want you coming to him all holy and stuff, but it says that he was with the sinners. It says heaven rejoices when one sinner is saved, rather than a whole bunch of righteous people walking together. These people are good. You know what I'm saying? They covered. This person was lost. God said, I'll leave the 99 for that one lost soul. These 99 sheep that I was walking with, I'm going to leave all of them. I want that one right there. That one right there who was on the table last night, the one that was whatever she was doing, beating them girls up, whatever the case was. Yeah, you who was slicing them tires and breaking them windows, I want you right there. Yeah, come to me, because you don't know what I'm about to do for you. It's like that. God is a very great sense of humor.
Musically wise, the type of artwork you're putting out now, how does it compare to what you had when you first started?
It's a different sound. It's a completely different sound. I got an old soul. I love me some 90s, 2000s music, because that's real music. That's feel good music. You feel me? When you hear the music now, it's kind of like, I get in the car and I don't even want to play no music sometimes. I just get in the car and I'm driving no music. Because why do I want to hear about y'all?
From a person called Suki.
Yeah, no.
Instant headache.
I don't even bother, for real. But it's sad because the stuff that they put out, they're not realizing how this affects the generation coming up.
But that's industry.
Exactly. They want to sell the negative. Yes.
But hate is a strong word. That's where you was going to go with that.
If I say hate, if I say dislike, that's me just trying to disguise myself saying hate. Is to say dislike. I can say, I hate that person. No. Or I can say, no, hate is a strong word. I dislike. It's the same thing. The same thing. I don't like that about the industry.
Not comfortable with that.
I'm not comfortable with it. I don't associate with it. No, I don't like it.
I don't like what it is.
I don't like it. I don't like that about the industry because what they're doing is they're putting a false narrative. They're feeding the generation a false narrative. I don't know if you've seen that what's it called? That interview of Future, right? And I haven't seen any of them, but I just saw like a clip or something, and it's like I think Nikki was talking about it, and I had just seen the post, right? And it didn't mean nothing to me at the time, but it means something to me now. So they're saying like, Future raps about drugs and all this other stuff, but he don't do none of the stuff that he raps about.
It's true.
Where is he leading the people? They get turned, do drugs. You hear these, you see a lot of younger kids coming up now. They killing each other. 11-year-olds in jail because they shooting people dead. But the music, whatever, just like I said, what was saying the master of worship, the master of music or something, right? So in the industry, what they feed in, whatever spirits are moving behind them songs, are feeding into them people. Not only that, certain people don't know like the power that music has, and the power of life and death is in the tongue. You singing these songs, murder, murder, kill, kill, every day. You're declaring that over yourself, and then your life starts to look like warfare, chaos. Why?
But if he's going home saying, "Yeah, I don't do this," and to his close friends and peers, he's a saint.
You say, huh?
To his close friends and peers, he's a saint. He's not doing this stuff around them, but he's still pushing that stuff to the mainstream. Does that still make him a bad person?
Yeah, because why are you leading them?
But it's just a job.
In that direction. But that's what I'm saying. You're compromising your character. You're compromising integrity for the sake of money. But this money that you're getting, this is the same money that's destroying the generation's minds. You're messing the people up. I'll take Raw Wave, for example, right? I'm not listening. I'm not getting up in the morning screaming, you ever feel like you worthless, like you ain't worth nothing all day. No, and then you wonder why people feeling down and they feeling like this because whatever spirit is operating behind that music got them feeling like that.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. He definitely does.
It's okay, but the industry can sometimes have you in a lock on this. Let's say you want to come out from under that. They don't want you to. No, because look at how the people are responding.
Now, yeah.
Look at how the people are responding to the sad stuff. Oh, no, we want negative. We want toxic. We want to feed them this. Why? Because it's going to steer the generation somewhere else. It's going to make them lost. It's going to make them feel like they're nothing. That's what they want. So that they keep feeding into this. They keep buying this stuff. How many songs can you listen to that are positive today?
Well, there's a lot of music out there.
That's true.
A lot of music out there.
I'm talking about industry, mainstream. That they push out.
It depends on the type of genre. Because it depends on the type of environment that you're in. You might have a different type of industry genre. That's at the top tier.
That's true.
Country people. There's a lot of positivity there.
Right.
Asian pop culture.
But you don't see a lot of that. You don't see a lot of that right now. We speaking like hip hop, R&B. Right?
I don't know if there's just an attack on that industry in particular, but
that's what people listen to most.
That's what trends the most also.
Exactly. But why? What makes a trend? When you listen to the words, take this for example, right? Raw Wave, right? A lot of people have been through stuff, so they connect with pain, right? Cool. Now, when it comes to feeding that pain, instead of healing from that pain, you see the difference. You heal from that pain, you let it go, you move on. You feed that pain, you sit in it. It becomes a stronghold. It becomes like you're in bondage. You feel like you're never getting out of this.
No, that's relatable though.
Yeah.
Now, what about a person who has never killed a person a day in their life,
and they're rapping about it?
They're rapping about
it. This may not be the lifestyle that you live, but that's what you're feeding the people. Now, what you're feeding the people, whoever chooses to live this lifestyle because of what they listen to, it's on you.
You're that one little small thing that made a big difference.
Start small. Start small, right? So boom. I'll take the Raw Wave concert, for example, right? I don't know if you've seen the Raw Wave concert, how he uses that skit. He uses a skit where he gets on a ledge and he falls backwards. Now, he can get up and walk away at the end of the show, right? There are people who want to get up on ledges every day fall off and they can't get up and walk away. What are you promoting on this tour? You know what I'm saying?
That's, oh, God.
Why are you promoting that? Oh, it's just a skit. It's just a prop. Why is that the prop?
Is that?
What's operating behind that?
Is media team put that behind?
It's not even just media team, right? Think about it. We battle not against flesh and blood. What spirit is operating behind that? Spirit of suicide?
There's only one.
It's very evident. Spirit of suicide, spirit of depression. You see this person fall off a ledge, and it's millions of people around. And they're taking in all that energy that you're feeding out. You don't know how many people are going to walk away with that same spirit. And you think it's just a prop? It's not just a prop. The industry knows exactly what they're doing.
No, the industry definitely knows.
They know
music
what they're doing.
Influence. They definitely know that music has
and
influence.
That's why
not
the stuff music, that they push out.
This type of music.
It's not just music. It's music. It's movies. Mm-hmm. It's this. Everything that does not glorify God, they normalize. Mm-hmm. And people think it's normal. Girl, it ain't nothing. Yeah, it's just my boo. We just be laying up. We just be, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. I used to think it wasn't nothing either. Now I think it's a lot more than something. Oh, it's a lot more than just laying up. It's a lot more than just, oh, yeah, like did God call you to him? Is that your husband? Okay, so where is that going to lead you? Heartbroken. Why not? Steer from the pain. Like,
eyes half closed.
It gets bad. It does get bad, especially when you don't understand and leaving a relationship. Because like I said, none of the stuff happens overnight. It's a process. You can leave a relationship and still feel tied to that person. Even though this person could have treated you like crap, you could still feel tied to that person. Soul ties, right? You can realize, man, y'all probably don't even really connect like that when it comes to not being intimate. Oh, but why when y'all intimate, something different? What is there? The spirit of lust. So it's a lot of stuff. Like, the industry knows what they're doing. Why, when people be getting in the mood to like go have sex with somebody, they got a playlist? Really think about it. They got a playlist. Why, when people angry, they got a certain song that they go listen to? What spirits are operating behind that? That's increasing how you feel. That's feeding into how you feel.
Or a certain routine that they like to get into once they.
Like, it's, man, dog, y'all go to church. Find a sound doctrine church. A sound doctrine church. Not no church that's going to be deceiving and compromising to make y'all feel comfortable. And pick up your Bible and get a relationship with God. Find a relationship with God, please. Because, no, really, it's so funny. Because I came here, I'm like, oh, man, like, I haven't done one of these in a while. But God always tends to show up. He does. It doesn't even matter if we could have just been having a conversation. God always tends to show up. What have we spoken about? I'm just sitting here thinking, like, we spoke like a little bit about my music. Everything else been about God. Yeah. Less of me, more of him. And I said that before. God, less of me, more of you. So. And
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But I definitely do want to know the difference between your sound now and the sound before.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
I'll bring it back.
I bet y'all be forgetting. It's a good thing you remember. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. How do we get to? Okay, never mind. I don't even know how we got there.
When the conversation's good.
Yeah, I really don't even remember how we got there, but it's okay. God's will, right? So, my music back then, it was like I was still trying to find it. Like I had something, but it wasn't mastered.
But you started at an early.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been fine-tuned, or you at least had a grasp of what you want to put out.
I knew like I said, like I've always had like an old school, like 90s, 2000s vibe, right? And, I remember how we got there now. But anyways, so I've always had like that sound. And so I love like 90s. I love that era. I love that little, like, that's that feel good music. Like that's a little, whether it's up or it's R&B, like you connect to it, you feel it. Like, it's not so polluted. Yeah, it's not polluted. It's
authentic, honest.
Yeah, it's love. Like, it feels like love, And so that's what I be saying. God, I was born in the wrong era, but whatever. And so my music now is like, I feel like I found that sound. Yeah. I feel like I really did find that sound. And shout out to my producer, B Mix This. Y'all go. Never mind. Y'all don't go follow him. That's my producer. That's he make my beats. know what I'm saying? Y'all rock with him for a little bit, but that's, not too much, right? So I came across him. Well, he came across me. And I don't remember how it happened, but I just know he started sending me beats. And I was writing songs every day. It hit me like, this project I'm working on, like, and you know, when I was in a relationship, like the heartbreak, like, it was because of him. God has a reason for everything, right? But being in that relationship, most of my songs came out of that relationship. Most of the project, damn near the whole project, came out of being with him. Ups, downs, but the sound that was. I'm not saying it was all me, but God gave me that. You know what I'm saying? Facts. All praise to God. So I'm not gonna say it was all me. That was all God right there. You know, and so, man, the music, I can't wait to drop it. Like, I can't wait to just. I really am so excited, but it's you have different. A new date already? I had one. God had other plans. So, yeah.
Can you even give us like a near round estimate, just so your audience could know?
It's not gonna be the tape all together at first. It's probably just gonna be like single tape, or a single tape. And it's 6 songs, no features. Y'all gonna love it. That's what I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna love it. Oh my God, y'all gonna love it. Like, I don't even like. I love it, but I know y'all gonna, cause it's good. Like, it's good. It's good. It's good music.
Is there one record on there in particular that you love the most?
Ooh. Dang, it's 3 songs on there that I like that are my top songs. One of the songs is called 90s Love. And it is.
I feel like I've seen that one coming.
It's called 90s Love, and it's a pure 90s song. Like pure 90s R&B. Like,
what, keys and guitars, or
like it's
bass and snares?
That's a great question. I think it's piano, and I don't remember, honestly. You want me to be honest? I just hear it in my head, not the beat, but the melody. So
it's melodic, nice.
Yeah, no, they're all melodic. All the songs are melodic. So when I was writing that song, usually when I write music, it takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to write a full song.
Shut up. 30 minutes?
It takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to write yes, it does. Like 30 minutes to an hour, and that's it. Once I got the melody, the words just flow. But this song, I heard the beat, and I was like, this is pure 90s. I need to take my time with this. And it took me 2 days. It took me 2 days to write it. And I think the last day it took me so long because it was like 2 more lines left I had, right? It could have took me 2 days. It could have took me 1 day. But it was 2 more lines I had left. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to say. And I'm like, all right, bruh. And I left it, and I don't know how it came to me, but it came to me. And in order for me to write that song, I had to go back and study some other songs.
Oh, wow.
And I usually, like...
So it was work.
Yeah, oh, no, it was work. I went back and listened to some old school R&B. Like, I was just chilling to it, vibing to it. And I went back and played the beat, and I'm like, I know exactly how to come on this. And that's what happened. But my other songs, like, then I have... Addicted, but I think I'm gonna change the name to Love. Well, I did change the name to Love, so it's not Addicted no more, but it's called Love. And dang, why they blowing up my phone? And my business. And so then there's Love, and then after Love there is Caught Up. So I love Caught Up. Like, I love Caught Up. Caught Up. That song right there was the first one I wrote when I got all those songs. That one right there, like, yeah, that one.
How do you get in the zone when writing?
I play the beat, and I'll play the beat, and the melody, like, it'll come to me immediately, honestly. It'll come to me immediately. I'll hum, and I'll catch it. Sometimes, like, I can't catch it immediately, and I just, like, hum through it until I hear, like, a hook or something. Until I hear something I can, like, make catchy. And then I record it on my phone, And I'm like, oh, I got this. I can write the whole song.
Facts.
All I need is that one part. Sometimes it starts like that. Like it starts small. All I need is that.
It's always that. You always
start
bring that
small.
back up too. Like it's always that.
Don't despise small beginnings. There's no small thing in everything. There's no small thing, because I'm pretty sure when you started this out, started small.
Oh yeah, I started off with one camera.
Yeah, look, now you got 3. Look, that's what I'm talking about.
Actually, these are like 14.
You see what I'm talking about? Like, you probably started off with one mic, one chair,
but you want to know one thing that has not changed since I started? Like, I got my LPN license last year. Just passed my state.
What is your LPN license?
Licensed nurse practitioner.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm in nursing school right now.
Oh, that's
trying to get my RN, and I got like 15 months left. One thing that never left me since I started this, I work, I can make money, this and that. When I pick up a camera, I'm not doing it for money.
Yeah.
Like, I literally figured,
just love
being behind the camera. Love being behind the camera, in front of the camera, anything that has to do with media, marketing, anything, editing. I just love the concept of media.
That's dope. That's dope.
Where do you want to see yourself in the next couple of years? And we're just going to close off with that.
Where do I want to see myself in the next couple of years? Wherever God wants to take me. Because we tell God our jokes and he be laughing at it. Because he really do he's like, I know the plans I have for you. Right? Plans to prosper you, not to fail you. So as long as God knows his plans for me and I'm in the will of God, wherever he's taking me is somewhere great. I believe it. I trust it. I declare it. I receive it. Wherever God is taking me is greater than where I am now. Facts. Greater is ahead. Greater is always ahead.
Please tell everyone, where can we find you?
Y'all can find me. No, I'm playing. Y'all can find me at the church house. No, I'm playing. No, for real, y'all could, but y'all can find me on Instagram at Riel, RIEE.LLE. Make sure y'all tap into my newest single I dropped, Nothing But Love. It's in the link on my bio on Instagram. My YouTube, RIEELLE. All that good stuff. Make sure y'all subscribe. Tune into the vlogs, the journey. It's a process. And, yeah, man, y'all get right with God, dog. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all again, because I could say it once, but he'll definitely show you. It's about that time. Get right with that man, you know?
Have to get right.
You gotta get right.
Send with Riel. This is Vicash and Dark Spark Media here for the story, not the fame. It was real good speaking with you.
Of course. I had a great